And good morning. I'm going to talk to you today about something that's very important to everybody that wants to have strength and or just a feeling of vitality. So, there's a cell inside our body, okay, and we've got 100 trillion of them, and each of these so-called cells have this little energy powerhouse called the mitochondria. And the mitochondria is just what is responsible for us to be able to be alive. There's a ton in our heart, in our mind, brain, okay, in our muscles. And there are certain components that are in meat that a lot of vegetarians and vegans do not get in the quantities that they were having before, and that's creatine. So we're going to talk a little bit about creatine today, and I really use it in my lifestyle only because it makes me feel very strong and powerful. Why? Because it feels like I'm eating meat, and when I'm not. This is a pharmaceutical grade, I'll show it to you, creatine, and as it says, critical for explosive muscle cell energy and growth, utilized in brain cell energy balance, supplements plant-based diets lacking creatine, 100% pure pharmaceutical grade and toxin free. So, creatine, remember, is loaded and full of all flesh. And I stopped eating flesh 15 years ago. And I went through massive feelings that I had just no strength. And, I tried veganism, I tried fruitarianism. Okay, I tried them all just because I'm not picking a diet. I'm trying to personally research and see which one is the best one. So, what I found right now is I just stay away from all flesh, no blood, okay? I still have eggs in my diet, raw fertile eggs. I still have some raw goat's milk and raw goat's cheese that I make myself from our own goats. And I put probiotics in them and so forth because of the bacteria. And I also supplement creatine. And creatine is super important for me to be able to feel like I've got my strength, like I'm eating meat. So the creatine, what it does is it activates the mitochondria. It activates the powerhouses of the cell. And as long as the mitochondria basically have power, then you have power. So the way I take it, if I'm going to start taking it, and what I do is I take it for about 6 weeks, and then I go off it for 2 weeks. And I can't wait to go back on it when I reach my 2-week period. Why? Because I'm getting weaker again. So, life is real simple. If you feel strong, you feel like doing things, and you do them with more effort. Instead of me being able to do 7 to 10 pull-ups really easy, when I start taking creatine, I can do 20 pull-ups really easy. I can do, instead of 20 push-ups really easy, I can do 40. Okay? I can run way further, more endurance, and I like to do it. Why? Because my muscles feel really good with the creatine. Like I said, it makes you feel like I'm eating meat. And if you're a bodybuilder, when you eat a lot of flesh, when you work out, your muscles swell up. They feel this ecstatic feeling, okay? And then when I stopped eating meat, I lost that feeling. It's called the pump. So this is something that a lot of people, a lot of vegans, vegetarians, okay, they go back to eating meat. Why? Because they're so weak. They got sick. It's because you cut off their creatine, okay? I also add into my diet ubiquitol, too. Very smart to do that, okay? So we have these at Earthshift, and they're all wholesale. And these are some of the best things I can tell you. If you want to have strength and you want to feel like doing things, then you need to put this back into your body. Remember, flesh has all the creatine. There's very little creatine in plant-based foods. Okay, so let me read what else it says right here. So just to give you a better idea here. Creatine is a critical component of energy production, including the explosive energy of muscle cells. And the balance of energy is and it also balances the energy in our brain. It is beneficial for athletes and those with naturally lower base levels of creatine, including vegetarians and vegans who do not receive additional creatine from meat consumption. So the way I take this real quick here is I put in, right here, okay, I'll put in a spoon of creatine here. This is about 5 grams here. About a teaspoon, and just mix it up in some distilled water. So I'll do this 4 times in the day, okay, 20 grams, and I'll do this for the first week. or so. I want to load up the creatine in my system. And you have to exercise. You don't just take this and not exercise. Exercise is what activates this. How do you even know you have power in your mitochondria if you don't use them? This is where people go ahead and do certain things, and it just like makes me shake my head. You're taking these things here because you want to actually now you have the fuel to be able to actually do more. So use it. It's like taking anabolic steroids if you did, and you don't sit around and you're just sitting around on the couch watching TV and you think you're going to grow muscles. No, these are things that actually aid your body in producing muscles. And this is not a steroid. Okay, this is legal for athletes to take, and if you do it right, it makes you massively different than you were previously. So what I do is I just put that in there. It doesn't taste bad a bit, and just you just drink it down just like that. So then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll drink, like I said, 3 of these because I want 20 grams. And I'm going to put 5 grams in my water here. I'll put magnesium. I'll put about 20 drops. I'll put a cap full of silica. And I'll put a full squeeze lemon in there, just like this one's got right now. Okay, you can see the stuff at the bottom. They're all the lemons and a few crystals. And I'll drink that throughout the day too. Remember, I drink a lot of liquids. Now, the way I use this, like I said, is I love to work out now. It makes me feel, all my muscles are so much different. It makes me feel like doing another set. Okay, before, and especially when I was doing a fruitarian diet and or vegan diet, I had to push through my exercise. I had to push through my workouts. And I didn't really feel that I was getting that much out of it because it didn't make me feel good. I exercised just because I was disciplined and I knew I should do it, and I wanted to try out. But once I introduced these two sequences, ubiquitol and the creatine, okay, all of a sudden it gave me my power back as if I was eating flesh. It's because, like I said, the flesh has the creatine, plants have very little, and your body has to get used to being able to really grab creatine from very low levels of sourcing. Okay, so this is very good for vegans, vegetarians. Again, you got to exercise, so add this into your world. This will change your life. And if you can, try to exercise twice a day. This will help you rebuild your neural nets, rebuild your nervous system. This will help. So, the creatine to me, okay, is called a supplement. And this supplement, like I said, gives you pure energy in the muscles. And you don't get the pure energy unless you use it. But not only pure energy in the muscles, remember, this also has a function in your brain. Your brain needs power. It needs clarity. It needs fuel. You have mitochondria in the brain. You bet you do. You got tons of them in there, okay? That thing looks like a town with all of its lights on, okay, when it's working. The mitochondria are like little light bulbs. And if you've got a lot of them, that's what they say the crown is, okay? This is what this energy around your head is because you've got your mitochondria lit up. So give that a try. I do, like I said, 20 grams for a week or two, exercising throughout, every day, never taking a day off. I do weights, I do yoga, I do exercise as far as cardiovascular, just a little bit of everything. And stretching and so forth. And then what I do is I go down to 5 grams a day. So I'll put it in either I'll take a drink in the morning, okay, or I'll go ahead and put it in my bottle. And if you actually are going to do a hard workout or a long ride, you take it 30 minutes before you ride, if you're just on the 5 grams a day. Taking 20 grams a day, spreading out 5 grams 4 times a day, well, that's pretty easy. You got creatine in your system flowing all the time. If you did a blood test, you'd find out that now your creatine levels are at way higher levels than they were previously on a vegan or vegetarian diet. Remember, how are you getting your creatine? You're not eating flesh anymore. So, and most of the flesh anybody's, unless it's grass-fed flesh anyways, most of the time, the creatine, everything in there it's all been perverted, okay? It's not the flesh you think you are. You're eating antibiotics, hormones, vaccines, all different types of chemicals, fluoride, different types of anabolic steroids they put into the cattle and put into the meat and put into the eggs and so forth. So this is again, pharmaceutical-grade creatine. Add it to your world, and don't forget to exercise. Okay, aloha.
Important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.